Okay, so I want to talk about something really important today, which is that you are a screw up. I'm a screw up. We're all screw ups. And that's okay. It's okay to not be where you should be in life and to not be at the level that you want to be. This is really important to understand because there's so many people that get trapped in this cycle of trying to be better than they are and trying to pretend and uphold that image of being better than they are right now in this moment. And what happens when you do that is that it prevents you from growing. Maybe you're watching this video, you're watching this channel, and you are a super productivity junkie. Like you're reading the books, you're listening to the podcasts, you are trying to implement the changes in your life, trying to go to the gym, trying to do all these things, but you feel like you're just not making that progression because you keep on falling back, because you're not actually changing. And the reason why a lot of times that is because you're busy beating yourself up for not being what you expect yourself to be, what you want to be, and you're trying to do all the things that person would do without accepting where you are right now. And I know this sounds a little bit crazy and ridiculous, but I see this so many times. I see this with people I coach, I see this with friends and relatives, and I see that people don't take responsibility, they don't take ownership in their life, and they blame themselves for where they are. They're upset at themselves, and so externally, they shift the blame. If you tell them that they have done something wrong, if you tell them that they are not at the level that they want to be, they deny it. They say it's someone else's fault. They say that they have this victim mindset around it. But internally, they beat themselves up. Internally, they do think they're a bad person. And so they spend all this effort trying to prove to everyone, trying to find the quick fix, trying to find some solution, trying to find some way in order to be what they want to be, so that it can validate themselves. They get that external validation, some kind of fix outside of themselves. And what they don't realize that all that they need is within them. All that they need is to let go of those things, to let it be what it is. Because once you let yourself be who you are and what you are, only then can you get on the path to growth and change. So if you're not accepting of yourself, if you feel like you can hate yourself into change, it will never work. What you will do is you will destroy yourself and the people around you. Because when you try to hate yourself and you try to blame yourself and you try to beat up yourself mentally in order to change yourself, you don't have the capacity to actually have the humility and the acceptance that's required to actually get on the path of growth, because you're doing all the actions, but you're not internalizing the things. What I'd like you to do is to look at this, to look at your own life and say, what am I pretending right now? What are the things that I'm beating myself up about that I have not accepted about myself, that I feel like I'm a lesser person, I'm not as good? No one is above this. I do this myself. I could even just take this example of making YouTube videos. I made 2 YouTube videos before this video, and I had some decent ideas for them. They didn't quite come out the way that I wanted to. I lacked the authenticity, I would say, probably, in recording them. They're probably not that bad, but I beat myself up about it. I was like, I'm not getting the work done that I need to. I don't feel as good about these videos. I just don't feel good about videos I'm creating lately. And that's gonna make things worse. I'm just gonna pretend like everything's okay. I'm gonna pretend like I am producing what I want to produce. And that's going to cause me to create this fake image. Instead, if I let go and I say, you know what, it's not what I want, but it's okay. It's okay wherever I'm at right now. I can recognize this. I can accept that I'm not exactly where I want to be and that I'm not feeling good about these videos. But that's okay. You don't need to beat myself up about it. Just some days that's going to happen, and sometimes you're going to be off the path and you're going to have to find the path, and you will. And that's it. That's okay. So let's look at how can we find that path. I talk about this all the time on this channel, is that your actions flow from your nature. It's who you are. And so if you try to change your actions by sheer will, you might be able to temporarily suspend them. You might be able to temporarily stop doing things that you don't want to do or start things that you feel like you should be doing. But if you're continually beating yourself up about it, it's not going to stick. What's going to happen is you're going to relapse. You're going to fall back into the same habits and same patterns, and you're going to get into this guilt cycle where you shame yourself, beat yourself up, feel guilty, and that causes you to lose motivation. It causes you to make the same mistakes over and over again. So what's the solution for this? It's what I was just talking about, is you have to stop worrying about these things. You have to stop judging yourself and say, okay, it is what it is. I accept what it is. It doesn't have to be indifferent. I'm a screw up, just like everybody's a screw up. It's not a bad thing. It's a progression thing. You are where you are. You can't help but be where you are at this moment. What you can help is where you go from here. But if you never accept where you are, you are never going to go anywhere else. You're just going to be pretending. You're going to be putting on the show, but not actually changing. And so once you let go, once you say, I'm going to stop fighting it, I'm just going to let it be what it is, whatever it is at this moment, then you can grow. Then you can read the books. Then you can do the work. But until you take that moment to say, I'm letting go of this, I'm letting it be what it is, you're never going to get there. You're going to always get in that cycle of beating yourself up, the guilt, the shame. Now, if you want some help with this, and it does help to have a group of people that are also sharing these same goals, click the link down below. I've got a Bulldog Mindset membership, $7 for the first month. And in that, I have a ton of videos on mindset. I can show you how to change your mindset, how to transform your life, how to control your emotions, how to manage your emotions, to become a person who does not get so bent out of shape by everything, who lets things go, who lets themselves be what they are and is able to actually change and transform themselves, and a group of supportive people, which is also important, that will help you to do that in that community. So go check it out and join us in there, and jump on some of the live streams where you can ask me questions and we can talk about these things. We've talked about many of the live streams in the membership about changing yourself, about beating yourself up. It becomes a recurring theme because so many people are putting in all the work and effort, but it's not getting them results. And it's because of this one thing that I've talked about in this video, which is they're not letting go. They're fighting. They're not just accepting reality. As soon as you accept, as soon as you let go, that's when the real change starts to happen, because you cannot have that internal change until you let go and accept where you are right now and be okay with that. It's the key. Otherwise, you're going to be just chasing. And you've probably been there. I've been there. You think that there's some kind of external solution. You think if you do something, you think if you beat yourself up enough that you'll get there. And you won't. You never will unless you let go, let it be what it is, and then let it change.